So we have Sriram and Michael Berkowitz. Awesome to
Hi,
have,
bro.
awesome to have you here.
Yeah, glad you could join for this set.
Yeah, I would have joined earlier, except I live in Utah, so it was a little early for me, the earlier sets.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. I had to wake up at 6:45 to get ready for stream for this, so it's been
Oh
pretty
dang.
tricky for me. That's all right. I enjoy commentating GT matches.
Yeah, just waiting on people to actually log in. Yeah. Okay.
Is stream hearing us, by the way?
Yeah. Stream can hear us. I think we're good to go. We're just waiting on people logging into the laptops. So this is the last round. First, I've got standings up, right? First is pretty much decided. It's very unlikely Georgia Tech Gold is not going to get first, but what we're viewing is competition for second and third. So we're going to see UGA Red versus WashU Green, and UGA Red going in has a small VP edge, for VP edge, which could be relevant, but
It says 6, by the way, for the sheet. 107, 101.
oh yeah, sorry, basic addition, subtraction, whatever. So that could make a difference, but with how swingy some of these matches have been, I think it's definitely most likely that whoever wins this match will get second for the event. And everybody is finally logged in.
That's awesome.
Can I ask a silly
who's-
question? What?
Sorry, I just had a quick question. Out of curiosity, who's Georgia Tech Gold facing this round?
Georgia Tech Gold, that's a good question. Let me look at the standings real fast. I'm going to switch to this view, which is going to look very hideous momentarily, excuse me. Georgia Tech Gold is playing WashU White. Okay.
Okay, so 4th place team.
Fourth place team. Yeah, okay. So some upset, it could be possible where Georgia Tech does not get first. It's just not the most likely.
Yep, it's
alternative.
theirs to lose right now.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, and let me find the table to start kibitzing.
And sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Michael. I think you were in the middle of saying something.
No, I was just wondering, are there any prizes for this, or is it just the pride of victory?
This is definitely a pride match, a pride event for sure. I don't think there's any ACBL points awarded, anything like that. Let me get you onto the stream. But
Yeah,
but
The winner should get the first choice of pizza, in my opinion.
yes,
At least.
that sounds about right.
yeah. This is just a bunch of kids in college who decided to who made the travel to Georgia Tech's campus to play bridge, and it's kind of awesome that a lot of people were flown out. I think out of the 16 teams, only 3 teams are Georgia Tech, and 1 team is UGA, which is kind of close. A lot of teams actually flew like I think 7 teams from U Chicago, 5 teams from WashU, just to play bridge over the weekend and have a good time. So,
That's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how college bridge has grown because I'm a Georgia Tech alum and I graduated in 2020, and during that time Georgia Tech was like the major powerhouse in terms of like number of bridge players. Berkeley was also kind of up there. WashU was on the rise, but besides that, every other college that have maybe enough players to field a team at best, like 4 to 6 players who are playing bridge at any level. And now you've got schools like U Chicago who are just sending 31 whole people to Georgia Tech to play bridge. Just like you said, like Robert said, there was no brag. It's not like this is like the national championship. It's no ACBL master points, no cash prize, just to have a good time. So I think that's really awesome.
I mean, I think playing bridge for the sake of playing bridge is a great incentive for most people. People are naturally competitive and the game is really fun. So I don't think you need to have some crazy incentive to get people out if they're being paid
sure.
for and it's free.
Oh yeah, that's and also free food. Don't forget.
That's true. For
People will
whatever.
travel across the country for pizza.
Yes, for free pizza as long as it's free.
Hmm.
Let's see. Show tables. Refresh. Okay, I'm not sure. BBO is having this issue where it won't refresh on Teams matches fast enough to pull it up to kibitz, so that's what we're dealing with right now. But
Right.
I definitely suspect the match will show
Have you
up.
been added as a what do you call it, a director yet?
Um,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, it's just I don't think there's anything to it except BBO just being slow.
Oh, we're already off to the action.
All right. So let's see. North chose to pass with a hand that might have preempted, but they have all of the classic flaws of a preempt, right? They have a side 4-card major and a void. Would either of you have opened 2 hearts with this? Is it your style?
I would have depend. It really depends. I don't think I would have preempted 2 hearts. I might have preempted 3 hearts, depending on if 3 hearts could be a hand like this. I might have passed also. But I think I probably more often than not would pass with this hand.
I definitely wouldn't bid. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of offense. If your partner happens to throw in a 1 spade bid at some point, you've got a ton of stuff. So, East opened their 18 count 1 diamond, seemed normal. South had a sort of problem, but I don't love overcalling 2 clubs with this type of suit, but what else can South do? They could have overcalled 1 spade.
It is a good spade suit, even if it is only a 4-card overcall.
In fact, I think I might have. I hate to bid that club suit enough that I might have overcalled 1 spade here.
Canopy
I was leading-
Canopy overcalls are a little underrated, I think, with this exact situation.
Right. Yeah, and if you get in trouble in 1 spade, you can always run to 2 clubs later, but it gets your partner to the right lead. We typically have a 5-card suit for our 1-level overcalls, but here Ace Queen Jack 4 it seems like it's a pretty good one. You know, nothing is perfect.
Yep. 3 diamonds was weak at both tables, and East has a problem. They have an 18 count over here. They have 5 diamonds, and they might be, and both tables are envisioning making something. East selecting 3 no trump here, and at the other table, Q to bid 3 hearts.
And they probably will make 3 no trump. It's, well, let's see. The defense has to be perfect to, not quite perfect. North has to switch to a spade instead of continuing clubs when they get in with the ace of hearts. It looks like. But that was a very quick look. Let's see. So South is probably going to lead a club.
If they lead the spade, also it's down, right? Because they just take 3 spades, a heart, and a club.
Yeah, 3 spades and 2 aces would do it.
Yep. And what would declare? What 9 tricks could declare even try to envision? Well, the spade is a good start.
Okay, so now this is not going to be much of anything. Although the lead of the 4 of spades was an interesting choice. I think I would have led the queen here. Though it's not so easy because the 4 of spades just runs the risk. If your partner only had 3 here, the same exact hand, this would have been not such a good start.
Yeah,
But-
could end up being a double stopper almost on some layouts.
Yeah. So
Like
this
hell,
is
swap the king and 10 of spades, and now it's a double stopper.
right. So here, this is sort of like a broken sequence. We would typically lead the queen from ace, queen, jack, 4th, just to promote something. But again, these, it's great that everyone's playing here, and this is not the same level of bridge as if we were watching, Mextroth playing in the, finals of the Spingold or something.
Yeah.
Everyone here is here to have fun, and maybe if they watch this, they'll learn something. But we're not trying to be critical. I don't mean to sound like I'm being critical of any of the choices. Bridge is a hard game, and even if we were watching, the finals of the Spin Gold, we would still see mistakes, particularly since we get to see all 4 hands, so we know what things work and don't work.
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely agree. If there's one thing I've picked up from commentating, and I've commentated a lot of matches on this stream, it's that bridge is much easier when you're looking at all 4 hands than when you're just looking at one hand.
Yes, I also think it's sometimes hard to have perspective as a commentator to go into the perspective of the player because you're biased by seeing all 4 hands. So
Absolutely.
you can sometimes be unnecessarily critical, or that's a trap to fall into for sure.
By the way, the play had South bid a spade. North South are close to making 4 spades.
I was trying to figure that out just now.
So when we see that, like, oh, we're in 3-no trump and it's probably going to go down, this isn't always a bad score. Even if we're playing teams, and I think we're in the same. Oh, they got to 5 diamonds.
They got a 5 diamonds too. They're gonna. It looks like it's down 2
Yeah,
because the
5
hard
diamonds.
draw of 2 aces.
Wait, and what happened here?
3 hearts was bid, and then West had a pretty normal 4 diamonds, and he's decided to go anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Right.
might
So
be
they're off a
ill-advised.
heart, rough, and 2 aces. But North South could have made something. This is going back to like the idea that these hands can be very strange when you have a lot of distribution, where it looks like East West have the power, and they do, but North South might be the ones who could actually make something because they have this nice fit in spades, and they actually have a double fit with clubs and spades. But I'm not sure that they would, but certainly 3 spades seems like it would probably make.
For sure. It actually feels like 4 spades might make if you try to set up the clubs.
Or just on a cross rough, maybe. Can you take enough tricks? 2
Do you
aces
have-
and 8 trumps. You might have the entries to do it. On a diamond lead, it gets diamond, ace of hearts, heart rough, diamond rough.
Would y'all have
You might not be able to rough enough things.
Would y'all have played South as the
The person with 3 diamonds in this
as
sequence.
the edge case?
Did North take a call in this hand? Not really, right?
No.
No.
So North South bid 2 clubs. There might be an argument that maybe you're missing 7. You're not expecting the hearts to break this way, so maybe you're expecting that South might have made a takeout double instead of 2 clubs. They have a crappy club suit if they had diamond shortness, so maybe that is an argument for playing South for the diamond length.
Yeah, I think that's well reasoned. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, South isn't under a whole lot of pressure on these discards. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
they happily throw away.
And North has already shown that they liked hearts, so even if South is worried about East maybe having King Doubleton of spades remaining, you can play a heart to the ace, and North can ship a spade through, and then it's over.
I think I'm going to shift primary tables because there's not a lot to this other hand, and East immediately at the
Oh,
other
wow,
table
that's a
on
big
board
hand.
2 has quite a interesting hand to deal with.
It is
Yeah.
tragic that they do not make 4 hearts over here.
Well, this one is going to be a tough choice, even just as an opening bid. You could open 1 heart, you could open 4 hearts. I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea of blasting 4 hearts. So your hand is a little stronger than your partner will ever really expect you to have.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially favorable.
Yeah. So if you were red first seed, I might open 4 hearts. Here, I think I would just bid 1 heart. The auction is not going to die in 1 heart.
I agree.
The thing that you can't do for the newer players is you cannot open 2 clubs just because you're pretty close to game in your hand. This hand is not that type of hand. You have to have not only a suit, but you have to have some outside aces and kings. And here, we don't have that.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. We're seeing Namyats opened.
Oh, fancy. Well,
Yeah, so this is a nice convention to have. So Namyats, which is just Stamen backwards, is a fancy way of showing a good four heart preempt. So four clubs here shows a good preempt in hearts. Four hearts would have been a worse preempt.
North has a huge hand over here, but they might not have a bid. I don't know. Maybe double.
Yeah, double is certainly not reasonable. Or certainly, sorry, double is certainly reasonable. It's when you're in this position, you feel like your opponents are often stealing from you.
Yeah, I would be tempted as
Yep.
North to ask about the style of what you open Namyats with.
Pretty solid, apparently.
Yeah, right. This is definitely a solid citizen bid.
Yeah, I think I would double with the North hand, and I do not know where if North doubles where they end up after that. Probably four hearts doubled or five diamonds. Probably four hearts doubled, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I would definitely be passing with the south hand.
Oh, nope. North decides to let it go, but it
Yeah.
should be down. You just have four top. A potential spade rough too.
Let's see. Yes, they have four aces and a spade. You're right. You
Yeah,
have to be careful about anything. Not really.
not really.
South might do well to play the jack of clubs at trick one if they play suited preference, just to show that he really wants a spade, and maybe that's the way they engineer down too.
Brennan has only been playing about a year, and he's not. Hasn't really gone over suit preference situations here.
Absolutely, and that's something that makes sense and is a nice next step. You know, as you get better and better at bridge, or as you get more into it, you start to make every card mean things. And you don't have to do that, but we can see in a situation like this where it's helpful to have those types of agreements.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Robert, can we look at the play on board one again? Because I just
Yeah.
noticed that they made 3-0, and I'm trying to figure out how they did not take three spades and
Oh
the two
my!
aces.
What
Well,
happened?
Think South might have been nervous about cashing the ace of spades. It might not have been entirely clear to them that
I
the
did
ace of
notice
spades is good.
after the five diamonds were cashed, I do think South did well to pitch only clubs and hold on to spades. I know the Jack of Hearts was played at some point, so presumably the Ace of Hearts was.
Okay, I'm zooming up in the hand. Y'all
Yeah,
can see
so let's
this.
see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I'm curious to see
suspect
what happened.
I suspect they exited a club and then North and South didn't
Okay,
cash ace of
so
spades
what
because they were
happened here?
nervous. Oh no, they played a heart.
Jack, Jack Ace of Hearts, and now North has to play. It's still not.
It's still fine.
Oh,
North-
maybe South returned a club over here, and that would do it, right?
Yeah.
That is
So
That would
North
do
here,
it.
North here should have helped their partner out by playing a spade back and not a club. But
The spade is a natural return for sure. Yeah.
It is also a big clue when South led a spade instead of a club to begin with. If South had maybe a better club suit worth talking about, then they might have led a club, or they might have made a power lead. Also, the Jack of Clubs in the dummy's a blocker.
I think the key here though is that it's really hard to defend.
It is, for sure.
It is.
Hitting 3-no trump sometimes is right, not just because you might make it, but the defense doesn't always find the right play here. And I would have thought that South could have had some real issues with the defense. And Declare made them figure out how to untangle their tricks, and they couldn't quite do it.
Yep.
Someone
Speaking
on
of
commentary.
finding the right play,
Someone on commentary in an interview was just saying, like, as a relative novice, that he just likes bidding 3-no trump at every opportunity. I was like, man, this guy's a bridge player. Like, you know.
oh, there's a lot of interesting things happening. Well, I think UGA did really well to find the spade rough over here for down two.
Did Matt switch to a spade? There's so much going on.
Yeah, it kind of felt like you're almost forced into it because the dummy has two stiffs that you might just play a spade if your partner doesn't have the ace of spades, or you might need to set up a spade anyways. Meanwhile, at the other table, they're electing to play in their 4-4 spade fit after he's made a reverse.
Well, it's going to be an interesting problem of what to do if it goes a heart past a spade. You do have 4 spades, but you know the saying is when you have, what is that, a 7-card suit, 7
7-4,
solid.
yep.
When you have 7 solid, that might be trump.
Or I've heard an 8-card suit is trump. Or no, what do you
Usually
call an
eight-
8-card suit trump? but
Right. An 8-card suit is trump. 7 solid is close to an 8-card suit.
Indeed, especially those 7. This is more than solid.
Yeah. So it's an interesting question of whether you bother raising your partner's spades. I think I wouldn't, even though, and that's one thing that might make me want to preempt hearts more, is that even if your partner has 4 spades, it's hearts feels like it's trump.
Interesting that West did not respond to spade over here at board 2.
It went pass by south.
that is interesting.
Pass. Wait, oh, you're on board.
I was looking at the second table on the bottom right.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was an interesting choice by West. I think that happens a lot when people start playing forcing no trumps sometimes, that they forget that 1 spade should be an available option if you have 4 or 5 of them. But they might also be playing something like Flannery,
Maybe.
where they don't bid 1 spade with these types of hands.
The kosher thing to do is if you bid 1 no with those types of hands, you're supposed to alert it, actually, or sorry, announce it in the ACBL. But who knows?
Well, there was an alert over it. Did it say what the alert was on the 1
One
no?
Trump was semi-forcing.
It was just
or forcing, I
semi-forcing,
forget.
yeah.
Semi-forcing. Yeah, so it might have been systemic, or it might have been that they forgot that they should bid 1 spade on those types of hands. Or maybe they chose not to for strategic reasons, but...
Interesting choice to lead the ace of spades there, but it's probably not going to matter. They're just going to take 4 top, and that should be the end of the hand. Oh, hold on to that thought. Oh, East is declaring it, so they did not see the threat of... They did not know... No one knows that East is 7-4 over here.
Yeah, but unfortunately they can get rid of one of them. Oh yeah, they can get rid of one of them. That's all they need to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all they need to do, yep.
So they get to get rid of all of their clubs.
And then that's basically curtains. They just lose a diamond or a club based on what they want to pitch.
So it is often good to lead a trump suit when you're playing in Declarer's second suit, but the reasoning has to be because you think that Declarer is going to try to ruff hearts in the dummy, which is a reasonable thought here. But the problem with that approach on this is when you have 3 small hearts, you should actually be worried that Declarer might just have tricks and be able to throw things away. I wouldn't expect them to have this many tricks, but I would expect that if they had something like ace, queen, jack, 5th of hearts, well, my partner's king third is finessable.
Indeed.
So I would be very nervous that they might just have enough tricks. And actually, this is one where I wouldn't follow that advice of leading a trump when they're playing in their second suit. I would try something else.
To get our minor tricks while we can.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be more imps in for UGA Red. They're off to a flying start. Two big swings in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
Two
So now
clean
we're
swings, yeah.
Now we're looking at board 3, which is a peaceful 2 spades.
Yep. The auction also was really, really solid, I thought. A diamond, a spade, a no trump, 2 spades. East-west silent throughout the entire time.
Yeah, I like South's choice to correct back to 2 spades here. You know your partner should have 2. I don't like to rebid 1 no trump with a small singleton, or even with any singleton really. I would rather plan my auction differently. So you know you're catching 2 and maybe 3 on a good day, and your hand just feels like it's going to play better in spades.
Agreed.
And Grennan is declared, so I feel like it's pretty good he's stuck in the 10. Like, that's nice.
Does it really help? I mean, I guess it does, but it's kind of a bit awkward, like
It
when
is
you
a
play
bit
spade to the
awkward,
king, how to
actually.
get back to the south hand to pull the last trumps.
That's true.
Maybe you need to try the queen of hearts and hope West captures it.
Seems...
Yeah, it was an interesting choice by East to return a spade here. It wasn't clear what they were sort of stuck.
They were. It doesn't really look like any options are particularly appetizing. A diamond could be right, but you see queen, doubleton, and dummy. You don't really want to play a heart. You have ace, queen of clubs over the king, so I have some sympathy.
Yeah. Nothing was super appetizing for sure. I might have just played a heart back just because whatever was happening in the heart suit, it was already established once they played the ace of hearts, right? If declarer has king jack whatever of hearts, then they have king jack whatever of hearts, and you might as well just let
Yep.
them have it.
And Declare is probably going to play a heart to the queen at some point anyway, so
Yeah, everything is already whatever is going on in the suit is happening. And for me as a defender, my biggest goal is to not be the one who gives declare anything extra.
yep.
So let's see, they've already taken 2 tricks. They're going to take a club
And a
and
diamond.
a diamond.
Maybe a heart, and I imagine Declare might try a club to Dick Jack or something, and then if he fires another heart, it gets interesting. But I think they're still fine no matter what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because then the king of clubs will be set up for a diamond pitch, so they don't even have to double hook diamonds.
Right. They can just leave the jack of clubs out.
So I would probably play a club to the jack right now.
And here that comes. You saw into the future.
It does. Declare does not know that the spades are what the spade split is right now, so heart actually might make it interesting. Because now South will have to decide what to rough with, and I'm not sure if any complications could arise after that. Like
That's
in the
true.
hypothetical where West had the jack of spades remaining. I think you're still fine on most layouts, anyways. But oh no, actually not, right? Because if
I think technically, like you saw, like West didn't cover the 10 with the jack, and the 9 has fallen, so
well,
South should find the 8 here. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he
Oh,
could
yeah, the
also
10 was
pitch a
not covered.
diamond, but things get complicated. So let's see. If he pitches a diamond, and now they switch to, say, a diamond, you could just keep running into the same problem.
Does play the queen. I'm surprised by
Ooh.
that.
are they down? Oh, they might have to. They might have to find a coup. Can they find a? Can they engineer a coup over here? I don't think.
Brennan is
Oh
not.
no, not
that's
anymore.
not
It's
going to
just
happen.
down.
Yeah.
No, but they might. They can capture it in passant.
En passant.
It's gonna work out, I think. So ace of spades, a diamond to the ace, king of
No,
clubs.
just play another spade right
and
now,
play
right? And then.
play another something. It's
Oh,
gonna.
I think it's.
He can rough a club for his other trick. He can elope with the ace of spades, 8 of spades.
But isn't this gonna be rough? And now they just have a
Oh, you're
diamond
right.
trick.
You're right. You're right. You can rough this and now cash. the-
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
the
gonna
play
say, that
was
would be
to
crazy.
exit a diamond at that, exit another spade at that point, and now if you pitch a diamond on the last spade, the dummy's good, and they have to play into it.
I feel like that was actually was a difficult play to find as South. Like, do you think it was right to play the 8? I think it.
Spade of spades.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
it
certainly
really
scary.
depends.
Well, let's see. If it gets over roughed, are you going to go down?
Oh.
You've
Oh, no,
you've
they're
made
making it
You've
now.
made it now.
Now they're going to make it.
That-
they
that's-
had to
that's-
rough it, which was
Wow.
not always clear to rough with the high trump.
It's always a tricky concept, which I struggle with also, which I struggled a lot with also when I started out initially, which is like, I have the top trump, why would I ever want to rough with it? And then they just, meanwhile, just pitch 3 losers on the side. And it took a while for me to get on the thing to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
To get that you're taking away a winner sometimes roughing. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that was scary. That was a very close thing.
Yeah. So if he had played ace of spades, you're saying that earlier. If he had played ace of spades, 8 of spades, that might have
Yep.
worked. I'm not.
8 of spades, pitching a diamond, and now the dummy would have been left with ace of diamonds, king and 8 of clubs. The clubs are also running because West had accidentally, I think, pitched the 9 of clubs
Oh, I
on
missed
the
the
ace of
9 of
spades.
club pitch.
So now East has to just play. East has to play a diamond, or even if East had only clubs remaining, like as long as East did not have a heart at that point. Well, hearts were knocked out, so yeah, it was just cold at that point.
Right, once East pitched a high club. And it's amazing how often holding on to those 9s and 10s is important, and it was difficult here, but for West, they should look at that dummy and say, I can't let that 8 of clubs be good, and hope that their partner has the Queen of Diamonds. It's always better to risk the unknown than to allow the known.
Oh, that's a great. I've never heard it put that way, but that's a great way of putting it. Absolutely.
Well, here we've got some interesting stuff
Fireworks.
going on.
What's
This is
with
a
the Heart Void
this is a
monster?
very solid 3-diamond
Oh man,
preempt,
I can
which
see
would
Matt
have
going.
to be red.
Matt could go crazy with this hand.
North has a great hand.
Matt has an incredible hand.
Do you just spit 4 hearts with this hand, assuming that there is no like way to show hearts and clubs at this point?
I'm almost sure he's going to bid 4 hearts.
Yeah.
They're definitely not playing Leapy and Michaels or anything like that.
Yeah. So a jump in this position, the general rule is we don't do anything weak over a weak bid. So they're showing a weak hand with 3 diamonds. 4 hearts can't also be a weak jump. 4 hearts is like the better jump. So in other words, we could bid 3 hearts, which would show a pretty good hand, and 4 hearts is like, I've got a really, really good hand, which this is a really, really good hand. And South might think about doing more, but I think
Yeah, wow. I mean, South,
It's tempting.
it is tempting. The Queen of Diamonds looks weird, and it's hard to assess the spades on how spades, if spades are going to be useful to your partner or not.
Yeah. But it turns out that they have safety on the 4 level here. Safety on the 5 level, rather. Although certainly they don't necessarily know about the diamonds. There's just too many things going on here for South to bid on, right? They don't know if they're losing the first 2 diamonds.
That's a
They
good
don't
point.
know. You know, it feels like they have a good hand, but is it good enough that they have safety on the 5 level? And they don't know that for sure.
What do you think about 5 hearts if you're going to explore for slam? As
If-
South.
It would be my candidate bid, I think, if I wanted to explore for slam, because obviously, I mean, I could key card, but partner almost certainly will not have the ace of diamonds over here, and we could just be off two diamonds, like Michael pointed out. So 5 hearts is often a bid, which is saying, hey, I have a good hand, but tell me if you have a diamond control or not. And based on that, we can evaluate whether we want to go to slam or not.
It wouldn't work out so well here.
Would not work out well over here.
Because
No,
here partner
absolutely
does
not.
have a second round control in
Yeah.
diamond.
Yep.
Although, if East continues with a diamond, they're going to make 6.
At the
Oh no, they can't. They can't.
They
pitch
only
enough.
get 3
Sorry, no,
pitches.
they can't. They don't have enough pitches. I take it back,
South
you're right.
South snap passed, but I'm glad I didn't have to make the decision as South because I think I probably would have passed, but I would have hated any option I chose.
Oh, the other table might actually. The other table is going to be a more interesting auction because 1 diamond was elected and the 6-5 unusual 2-0. How do you feel about that?
It's. I don't hate it. I mean, the plan is to bid 2-0 and then to bid hearts again later, which I think is a reasonable approach. You know, you have to, when you're making these 2-0 bids, at least be comfortable in what your next call will be.
Yeah.
And this is the good hand, so this hand is not uncomfortable. Even if partner bids 3 hearts here, 2-1, bidding 4 hearts, that's fine. I don't
Partner
care.
bids 3 hearts. I might honestly just bid 4 clubs or something. I might want to hear more.
I personally like to know with the
Yep,
wait
4 club-
what happened? Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong table. I was like, they ended the auction already?
I think 4 clubs would just show 6-5 the other way with a good hand.
Oh, would it?
So I would bid 4 diamonds here to be like, if you wanted to make like a slam try,
Yeah.
you could
Oh,
bid
I've
4
already shown
diamonds.
my suits. Never mind. I missed
Yeah.
that part. That clubs was already known.
Right. So here I would, I mean, it's close to whether you want to bid 4 diamonds or just 4 hearts, but certainly I don't care that my partner is 2-1 in the reds. My partner is going to hope that I have something good. I think South could have made a little bit more of an aggressive call here.
I agree. I think I would have just bid 4 hearts with the south hand.
Yeah.
We have a good 9. We have a presumable good 9 card fit, and hopefully the rest of my hand ends up being useful. I have Doubleton Club.
Right. Right, you can rough out the clubs, and your partner did this vol. So when
Yeah.
we make this bid vol, our like floor is much higher than it would be if we were white against red, where we might have any.
What would you say the
garbage.
floor is for a red on red or red on white, unusual or Michael's bid.
What is it for you? It's a style choice a little
Okay.
bit, but Sriram, what is your
It like all red. I'm assuming, right?
Sure,
It's
all
probably
red.
gonna have to be close to an opening hand at worst, I think. But or at least some semblance of good quality in both suits. Like I'm not gonna do it on Ace Jack empty fifth, King Jack empty fifth often. I think, for example.
right? I'm with you. I need to have some of the tens and nines. So like Ace Jack 10 9 fifth and Ace Jack 10 9 fifth might get me to do it,
Agreed.
but I need to have like those middle spots.
I like four
Wow.
diamonds. I like four diamonds by North's hand. I just feel like it's such a monster.
Yep.
Like,
Well judged, I thought, by
Yeah.
Henry and Rohan.
Yeah.
Well, Henry at least. Four diamonds and then passing four hearts. That is really that is good restraint for junior bridge, I'd argue.
yeah, I don't know if over four diamonds. I don't know if over four diamonds I would have found four hearts. I don't know.
I think
Yeah, I might have gotten a little excited.
Yeah.
it's tricky, right? Because
Ha-
I mean, the
having
big
been on
question
the
is
three.
how good is that king of spades, right? Because partner could have the same hand, except maybe ace doubleton of spades, in which case you just are locked for grand.
To be
But I mean, I guess with that hand, maybe you just go on anyways. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you don't necessarily know that you have. If North had like Ace Doubleton of Spades, you don't really know that you have safety on the 5 level.
For sure.
But yeah, I think with Rohan's hand, I would have taken a cheerier view at least one of the points. And once you've shown sort of the bad hand, and your partner still makes a slam try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Of course, we're advocating getting to
To a
contracts
wrong
that would
contract.
probably
So
be-
what do we know? But, I mean, but also like four hearts immediately feels more natural. But then over that, like North is probably going to look for slam, right? Over four hearts immediately by South.
I would be really hard pressed to not to.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
would
like-
absolutely do it, and
Yeah.
I think we would. But on this sequence, at least with North being the one who key cards, you just stop in 5, and
Yeah.
life is good.
and you have 5 level safety.
Right, you find out that you're missing 2 because all North really needs from South is 2 aces. Any 2 aces would do, and 3 hearts. But
Or I mean, maybe even two hearts. Like, I mean,
2
which-
hearts and
Yeah.
the 10 of clubs or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
lots of chances.
Ooh, interesting. At the other table, 3 clubs apparently showed a spade fit and a slam try, which is not an agreement I've heard. I know most people play like 3 hearts, or is usually the artificial forcing spade fit, like reverse base or regular base or something. Or maybe they play splinters over here and 3 hearts.
I
is
know
just a catch-all.
some of the WashU and like I think it's WashU, and we're watching WashU plays some retransfer systems, but I'm not familiar with any retransfer system which this would be a spade fit. I think usually that's 3 hearts. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
One thing I love is that if you present this to like if you present bridge as a problem to young smart people, one thing that happens a lot is they say, "Oh well, I can do better than that," and they invent systems sometimes. So I don't know if this is an invented system or not, but I've seen my sister played in the Collegiate Bowl once, a lot of years ago. I'm not going to say how many on her behalf, but she played against someone who basically created their entire system from scratch, and she said,
Who could do such a
was
thing?
there.
Who would do such a thing? That sounds
I know,
crazy.
imagine that, Robert. Robert plays a homegrown system, by the way. Fun fact. I'm not sure if you know.
again, you present this to young smart people, and they say, "Well, let me try to create something," and I think that's great. I love that. I wish actually that the ACBL would be more accepting of weirdness in its systems and people trying stuff, but often opponents get a little flustered.
You
and-
are speaking music to Robert's ears
Oh,
right now.
yeah.
I can tell you that. This is like Robert is feeling this on so many levels, based on the talks we've had about this.
Well, yeah, I play a strong diamond system.
Okay.
And it's had a bit of controversy at from my understanding.
Oh
from my
yeah,
understanding
yeah. I guess I
club
should
he's
talk about
played
this
at.
on stream. It's been banned at 2 local clubs because the people just don't want to play against it.
Right.
And
And I think that's a systemic flaw in how the ACBL treats weirdness.
yeah, for sure. So we just play our 2-over-1 like system at the clubs, but yeah, it's there's you encounter a lot of vitriol in the current culture of American bridge if you play unusual things, and you don't have to play. Doesn't have to be that unusual, honestly, to encounter that. So
So you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but in my like general philosophy on bridge, and bridge is an amazing game, but to me it's always like you're doing a crossword puzzle with some other people also filling it in pen, and sometimes they do something and you realize that it's wrong, and you get like your first instinct when something weird happens like that, it's to kind of get mad, and I understand that, and not everyone deals with that as well as they should, and as a result, if someone like does something to upset them at the bridge table, they react in a way that is bad. And I wish that everyone would sort of, why can't we all be nice? But why, if we have this more relaxed attitude towards, oh, you're trying something, or oh, you're new, you don't know what the conventions are. Like, who cares,
yeah, that
right?
works until you start getting good results too much, and then it's like we're sick of you. Like, stop! You can't play this.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I
No, it's
really
fine.
wish that we were more welcoming to younger players in clubs.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I don't honestly want to talk about it too much. I've just have to deal with so much junk with that. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, if I start a bridge club, you can come play whatever stupid system you want.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I want to talk about this board again. So, how do you feel about West Slam Try? Because at the main table, East opened a no trump, and then West made a Slam Try in spades after confirming the spade fit.
Yeah, we were so distracted by the 3 club bid. I definitely wouldn't have made a slam try with this. I don't think. I mean,
I don't think I would have either.
I would have had a totally different auction. My
Raised the
auction
3-0 directly?
would have been 1-0 past 3-0. I am not a believer in using Stamen with 4 3-3 hands.
Yep. And over here it's mirror shapes, exactly. So I was actually hoping at the other table that maybe they find 3-0 trump after a club, a spade, a 2 spade. I'm not sure what the 1-0 trump range is.
yeah, they're.
But unfortunately they didn't find it either.
This is William and John. They play Spiral, which they love joking about. They think it's a very funny convention. I'm not exactly sure why,
Convention.
but they always.
I do-
Yeah, I'm not sure why the East hand didn't qualify for a 1-0 opening, but maybe they play different ranges, which is very possible.
They do. They play. I think it's 12 to 14 white.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, this hand was too good for them, so that's why they wound up in the spade suit.
Yep.
'Cause it's harder to diagnose. But opposite of 1-0 opener, 1-0 3-0 is a great auction on this deal because South is about to lead a spade happily, and you're going to be able to figure out the spade suit pretty well.
Yep. You're going to take 4 spade tricks, actually, on a spade lead, assuming 4th best.
Yeah, you're going to take 4 spade tricks, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and a heart.
Yep. So there, you would have made 3-0, actually. In 4 spades, I don't think you're going to make on any start. A lot of cards are really unfriendly. And
Yeah.
I found the King of Hearts lead choice interesting also with the South hand. What would you lead with the South hand?
I might. Well, they made a slam try, which makes it scary to lead the king. I'm not sure. I might have. That's scary. That's really scary.
I probably would have led a diamond. And again, my general philosophy being don't give anything away that you don't need to give away.
Yep.
But a diamond turns out to help Declarer too, because now Declarer can actually... Well, it turns out that Declarer can always pick up the diamond suit if they guess it, by leading the Jack of Diamonds. And if it gets covered, then leading the 9 of Diamonds.
Maybe that's what happens. Especially
In fact,
now
Declarer
that
might
South
do
has shown length in spades, and presumably the King Queen of Hearts. I do not know, because the King of Hearts might have been interpreted differently.
Yeah. So Declarer's not down yet, that's for sure. It does feel like they have to lose 2 hearts and a club, but there's some weird handling stuff that's going to happen.
Yep.
And then
So
on the
there's-
other table, they've played over to the ace immediately, which, as it turns out, is going to make it trickier to make 4. I think. That's certainly what it looks. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Oh, I'm just being silly. It's been a lot of commentary. Sorry.
I know that feeling. If you stare at enough bridge hands
Yeah,
over the
you
course of
literally
the
just
day-
start seeing things like yeah.
Have you ever heard of the
think-
Tetris effect?
I have.
is-
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you play enough Tetris, you dream Tetris.
Yeah.
And bridge can be the same way, where if you do enough, you can start hallucinating things.
I think Declare is actually going to make 4 spades now based on this because South is going to have to fall into every single minor card. So they're going to lose a diamond. I mean, no, they're going to lose a club at this point, and I think they're going to lose 2 hearts. And Declare's and South is going to be forced to rough in at some point and then get end played in spades. So I actually think they're on their way to make this contract, and I don't think there's anything South can actually do about it. This is
Well,
going to be
what
really
if
fun
they
to watch.
shorten themselves by playing Queen of Hearts and a... So they exit a diamond,
Okay. I just played
ace,
2.
King of Clubs, and then a heart exit. Yeah, that might do
Yeah,
it.
that'll do it. I'm trying to figure out if a spade exit can help them out right now, and I don't think that helps either.
No, can't South give them a rough and a slough, maybe?
No, there's no suit that they can play to give reference.
No. So if South roughs a heart, say, and then exits a club, even after
Oh.
the clubs have been exited, I think because of the spots, they might not be able to untangle everything.
Maybe.
Well, we can cheat. Robert, what did the double dummy say?
We're cheating. Let's do it.
So this is very hard to... These types of deals are very hard to
Yeah, it
figure
looks
out.
making.
No,
Yeah,
it's what it's making.
yeah. Just play
Yeah.
ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, another club, and exit a heart, and they can rough that. Oh,
we missed
this looks like an error. This is definitely an error. They needed to catch their side tricks, their minor tricks first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a
Which is-
sort of a classic coup, right? Is that right? I don't know.
I don't know the term either, but I think I know what you're talking about.
I know what. Yeah. It's coup-like.
But it's a really common theme where you have like
Yeah.
these hands where trumps split badly, where you just really want to, and then especially if they have longer trumps, like in this situation, you just want to cash all your side tricks and force them to rough your losers because they have to eventually. But over here now, it's going to be really. Now it's just now it's just down, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no longer any hope.
That's
Yeah.
a really good point of how these deals often set up. And one of the most important things you can do to get better is to start recognizing types of deals rather
Yes.
than specific plays. And what, as Sriram was saying, when it's you're missing the high trump or you don't want to play trumps for whatever reason, it's often like a run your winners and see what happens. I'm sorry, did I mispronounce your name? I didn't mean
No,
to.
you got it, Sriram. Yep.
Sriram.
It's actually pronounced Bork.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's an interesting development, but I don't.
Wait.
I mean, they can get out for down 1 now because
yeah.
if they play a club right now, then South is end played. I was going to comment that South could actually have roughed that and exited a club to get down 2, but
Honestly, I think as South, as someone who hasn't been playing that long, I think taking a line, you feel extremely confident. Like you feel extremely confident it's going to set in imps is more important.
I agree. Because you'd rather guarantee the setting them than maybe making a mistake which you cannot calculate fully, and then you risk
Yes,
accidentally
yeah.
giving them plus 420.
Yeah. So bridge is an incredibly cruel game sometimes where the things that you do that we think will be right most of the time don't always work out. Like I had this 1-no 3-no auction with this type of hand before, and we were the only ones in 3-no getting a 0 because it turned out that we
Yeah.
had a 4/4 spade fit and nothing in hearts. But that stuff happens.
Yes.
Here, on this deal, it would have been justice because 3-no is the better contract.
For sure.
All right, let's take a look at this one.
I do want to
Howard-
point out before the bidding gets super interesting that I'm almost positive 3 pushes in a row is the record No, I don't even know. I think we might have had 2 pushes, maybe once, maybe. But
We have had 2 pushes
this
once,
is
I
like
remember.
60 or 70 boards in, and this is definitely the record.
That is on stream at least. We do not know
Yes,
about like
on stream,
the other
to be clear.
on televised matches. Yep.
I feel like as the old person watching, I'm like a chaperone. I brought
Now, would anybody upgrade and bid 1 heart with South's hand? Sorry, one no, 1 no.
I think I would.
I would, yeah.
I would. Yep. Look at all your spots are really really delicious. Like you only have like King 10 9 8, Queen 10 9, King Queen 8. Lots of stuff going on there.
This is an interesting one too. Would y'all bid a spade? I think here 6-5, 5-6. You do bid a spade. I don't know what the rebid plan is if you start with clubs. I guess you rebid
He
spades
would just
twice.
bid spades and spades again. That would get across the 6-5 message. So I think
Probably.
I would start with 2 clubs.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you plan to never pass 3 no trump. 'cause
That's true. Yeah.
The auction could get really ugly for you if it goes as a heart, 2 clubs, 2 no, 3 spades, 3 no. You're gonna have a headache.
And speaking of headache, this is also a really annoying auction because now North obviously might have 6 clubs and 6 spades in the picture, and maybe North bids the 2 diamonds game fours. South is not going to close. South doesn't have 3 spades, so they're just going to bid 2 no, and now you're going to have a really really hard time explaining to partner that hey, I have 11 black cards. Like we're going to play either clubs or spades, and by the time that he convinces that, it's going to be at the 4 level, whereas maybe starting with the 2 clubs might have.
I think another
Made it
really
easier.
important point is that like I don't know if North South have system to show almost anything here.
Did they not have a? Oh wait, is there no artificial forcing bid by North over here?
I like 2 clubs isn't alerted. I don't know. I think that they're just going on principles of new suits being forcing and like very minimum agreements, and
That's a very good principle, though.
it is.
New suit-
It is.
new
Trust
suit,
me.
New level
Yeah.
by an unpassed partner is
absolutely.
forcing.
But
That's the most important principle that we've discussed so far.
And at the other table, looks like South opened the no trump upgraded, like we talked about, and North is transferred, bid clubs naturally, and I imagine North is not going to set for what do you call it, 3-0.
Yeah, so it's a tough one, and sorry, Robert, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh
off.
no. I'm not saying anything. I'm just really hoping South doesn't pass.
I
mean,
know.
North just South doesn't pass at the main table.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, again, this is what happens when you're newer. You don't know these precepts, but that's why when I like to teach bidding, and I don't like to teach bidding, but when I do, I think that learning this type of thing of new suit, new level by an unpassed hand, or what does a takeout double show, and how do we respond? Those things are so much more important than learning any of the convention. We saw
Yes.
Namyats and
Yeah.
two-way new minor, and forget all that stuff. New suit by unpassed responder on a new level, 100% forcing, important.
yep.
Now, does North, who just had his heart in his chest, have the courage to bid 3 clubs here?
That would almost feel like a sign off at this point. Like I'd be scared too, but like you have to now just take it. I mean, maybe you probably know you don't have a spade fit at this point. You're also banking on ace doubleton is quite rich.
This is really something with Matt. I don't think Brennan's going to bid over this. This could be a
this is
big
quite
swing.
dangerous.
I don't think Brennan's going to.
Oh, look at the other table. They're off to cashing diamonds,
Yeah, but East might lead the ace of hearts.
and that's gonna be.
I think it's crazy.
That would be tragic.
I think it's crazy Matt rebid 3 clubs here because Brennan is just going to pass. Like, he's just going to pass. So.
Well, we're guaranteed a big swing over here, and now what does East lead? You have to lead a red. I mean, I think East has to lead a red suit in this auction 100%. It also does
What is
help
the
North.
auction? So one no, 2 hearts, 2 spades.
3 clubs, 3
Wow,
no, and then
switching
just
over tables.
a screw at 6 clubs.
Let me
Okay,
show the
yeah.
whole auction just a second.
I don't hate this auction, by the
Wait,
way.
wait.
So North has a real tough. Oh, West is on lead.
Yeah, but no, No, it's East is only because North bid 3 clubs.
Oh, you're right. You're right. East is
So
only.
now East has a really, really tricky problem over here. Does it even make on
Oh
a
my gosh,
if
if
you
he
lead
leads the Ace of Hearts, it
Oh yeah, you
makes.
just get the King of Hearts pitch.
The Ace of
but
Hearts lead would do it, but any other lead, I think it's not going to make. I
Oh
What
don't.
if you
my
do a
No,
gosh.
what if
no,
you
they
do a
can pitch
Trump
two.
lead?
They can pitch 2 diamonds on. No, because they can't do. Can they do everything?
Because you need to set up
Yeah.
a spade.
They can set up the spades to pitch 2 diamonds from south.
This could be a big swing. I feel
And
like this. Oh wow, he finds
nice
the
lead.
diamond.
Amazing.
That's
well
crazy
done.
to me. That's actually crazy to me. And
To be
I'm
fair,
sorry,
this
y'all.
auction
I
does scream
personally, I
aggressively.
personally know John, and I promise you, what is going through his mind is, it's someone. It's at the Atlanta tournament last year. Someone gave a seminar on tacking leads versus slams, and I guarantee you, a sound clip from that is going through his mind right now.
That is amazing. Well done.
Great lead.
And North obviously tried to fault scrub with the Jack of Diamonds, maybe encouraging them to switch, but it did not work.
That is
They were not to
brutal.
be deterred.
That is brutal
Beautiful.
for
Great,
WashU.
great lead, and the. I think it's not unreasonable because you might think that you're getting 2 red suit tricks, and it might be that you have to knock out the Ace of Diamonds, right? If you imagine your partner has only 1 card in their hand, I would play for it to be the queen rather than the king, but here it was just sort of a guess.
Yeah.
It worked out well.
I think this is a hand where it does scream for aggressive lead, obviously, and it could be relatively easy to visualize that if you lead a diamond, you're immediately making south guess with something like ace queen. Whereas if you delay later in the hand, they may have more information or realize, hey, I actually don't need to take this.
Putting them to the test immediately.
Yeah. It was certainly a nice aggressive lead. So whoever gave that lecture gets to take a bow.
But, yeah. Oh, I
Who was
wish
it?
I remembered. I so wish I
Okay.
remembered.
I think at the other table, though, like double dummy, they might actually just take the rest because the 10 of spades was led. So if Declare is paying attention, Declare knows that West has the Jack of spades. So they can actually just get 3 diamond pitches. And oh no, they only rough 1 diamond. So I guess 12 tricks, but so maybe Matt might be kicking himself for missing.
Oh, absolutely.
For missing game,
I
let alone
promise
slam.
You,
But
I promise you with
and
this. Yeah.
I might not be expecting imps coming into this board, so I'm not sure how that might affect their feelings going into the last 2 boards.
Matt is someone who will swing in last sets of imp rounds when he thinks you're down, and it's bad, like almost like 70% of the time or something. But then he remembers that, like, he literally talks all the time about the time he made a 21 high card point slam, and that's all he remembers. Not
Claim is not correct. That claim is not correct at the other table. You need to rough 2 diamonds. You can only rough 1 diamond. Maybe the defense accepts it. I don't know. Oh. Oh wait, did he claim? Oh no, he claimed +2. He claimed. Wait. Did he not have 12 tricks? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. I don't think it makes a difference. 170.
oh, this is an interesting hand. What do you respond with North?
Ugh.
I'd respond probably 1 no.
I would too. I would also bid 1 no.
All right. It's unanimous. We're all unhappily bidding 1 no Trump.
Maybe you
It has
should.
nice preemptive value.
It does. It actually does.
I mean, you have a 10 count here, so you're not so worried about the opponents coming into your auction.
Yep. And I could always go back. And I could always go back to 3 diamonds if they competed 2 of a major.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I don't think that's going to happen.
West did not find a bid the first time.
I'm gonna switch tables because I don't. Matt just missed a game, so I think there's.
You want to put the focus on him?
Well, no, I'm saying that I don't think Matt's going to bid 1 no with this hand. I think we'll see a divergence.
And at both tables, West chose not to overcall 1 spade, and I think that was probably a product of vulnerability. Would you have risked it?
I
think I would
I
have.
would have bid 1 spade. Yes.
I've not been punished enough in spots like this for me to regress my overcalls to 1 level.
Yeah.
I,
So-
I think just the value of, like, obviously sometimes if you bid with the West hand with spades, you will get absolutely demolished. But I think just the value of showing showing spades is just so high that you kind of have to. What do you think, Michael?
I probably would. I mean, I don't like the suit that much. But the 987 isn't nothing. It's better than King 5432.
Yeah, that would be a deterrent in me overcalling the spade. Like 987 is a big reason of why I'm okay overcalling a spade.
Yeah.
10 to
You-
11
you-
denies
you-
4-card major. Oh,
called that one,
considering
Robert.
3-0.
You nailed your friend.
Yeah.
I was gonna say playing 2-0 feels miserable. Playing 3-0 at least, will be fine. I assume South is probably gonna be. Well, it depends on if the North knows that South is bidding 3 hearts incorrectly over here, because 3 hearts probably should be showing like 6-5 game forcing or something.
I feel like
6-5 monster.
Yeah, I feel like Brennan should have found pass here. I know I know shaping out is natural, but I think it's pretty straightforward to think partner's asking me about my hand. I have a minimum. I'm gonna shut up, and we're gonna play 2 now. So
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how North decides to interpret this 3 hearts bid and if that might lead to any trouble. You do have 3-card support. You do have 2 bullets. I mean, I guess you kind of have shown your hand with 2-0 almost.
These guys were playing the 12 to 14 no trump, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that 2-0 now makes more sense to me.
no,
since-
they're
since-
not. They're not.
Oh, they're not.
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
the
Oh,
other
sorry,
table.
sorry, no.
That's the other table.
That's the other table.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're playing 15 to 17 1-0. Like,
Yeah.
rebidding
Yeah,
1-0 would have
but-
been 12 to 14.
So I do not like the 2-0 trump bid here, nor do I like the 3 heart bid. But you're right at imps and you're trying to be aggressive. It's not. It's amazing how much that type of mentality affects it, because these guys probably wouldn't have done this just playing a random duplicate board, for example. You don't want to be this aggressive if you're playing duplicate scoring, but at imps, you get a nice bonus for playing a 3-0 trump. Here, let's see. So East is going to have to make a lead against this auction.
Well, first we have to see what the contract is. Are they going to play 4 hearts or 3-0?
I mean, I actually feel like okay, he does bid 3 now. I was gonna say I felt like 4 diamonds might be a possibility. I feel like
And
Matt might be hypersensitive to forcing versus non-forcing.
Well, 3 hearts has to be unanimously game forcing, and I think it's a question of whether you want to play hearts or no trump.
But if 3 hearts really does show a monster, then I think 4 diamonds is the bid you would make, right? With the North hand.
This is, of course, assuming they're on the same page of 3 hearts. This is already murky territory.
it's not at all clear what the hell 3 hearts is supposed to be in these types of auctions. It could be it could be natural, some 6-5-ish hand, or it could be like, hey, I'm concerned about hearts for 3-no trump. People play it a lot of different ways.
Ace of Spades lead it's probably a big winner over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The spade seats are going to be set up, and West having King Jack of clubs is guaranteed to get in at some point after the spades are knocked out.
Well, West should actually duck this next spade, and I don't know if they'll find that, but it's a good play. There's no disadvantage to ducking this.
I think there's a good chance
Agreed.
they find it here.
And this is one that you sort of see a lot, which is ace third opposite king third. You want to be, or ace third opposite king fifth. You want to duck the second round so that your partner still has one, because the opponents are always going to get that spade trick. You might as well give your partner a chance to communicate with you through the third
Oh,
one.
really?
So
That
they
does
can get
go up.
3 hearts. So they can get 3 hearts, a spade, a club, and 4 diamonds. They actually are going to make 3-0, I think.
No way. I'm sorry. I
No,
wasn't even
not-
looking at the hand, but like,
On this defense, maybe.
Well, no, on any defense. I think it's just. I think the
No.
club lead might have been the only way to set it.
No. If
Double
they had
down.
ducked a spade, they would have a spade. They have no heart tricks until they take
The
4
problem is
spades and a
East's the
heart.
only one with what do you call it? Oh, on this defense, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because now there is no fast way to get to West 10, and with Ace Jack of Hearts both being on side, you can actually get 3 hearts, 4 diamonds.
and Matt is playing
Ace of
this,
clubs
right?
and
Yeah,
the
Matt's playing
spade.
this.
So Matt's playing this, so we're gonna see if he can find that play of you're gonna have to play a diamond up twice to play a heart to your hand twice, and let's see if he's able to pick it up. This is going to be a big swing for UGA again.
Matt has this. Yeah. And a heart looks very natural here.
There isn't really any other play for 3-0 Trump.
And there's no way to misguess it either, which is nice. You can play a heart to the king, you can play a heart to the 10.
Indeed.
As long as you keep those diamonds as entries, you're just fine.
I will say how if 3-0 makes here, like, hopefully Georgia Tech Gold is solidly beating fourth, because like.
Or solidly losing, so that UGA takes the dub.
Yeah, I mean, we were marketing this as a competition for second versus third, but like,
it has been
UGA
quite
putting up a big
one-sided.
number.
And there's the heart.
Yeah. Nice play by declarer. You know, when you're declarer, you have to take advantage when the defense gives you a shot.
Indeed.
I'll look up to see what the other one is doing.
They took
Is it on
time.
heat graph, or is
Oh
it?
wow, yeah. Sorry, let me change some things. It is you can go to team matches to kibitz it manually. The other table is on board 8 and is having an auction on board 8. Let me pull up the board review just a second.
Just so we have an idea. Of,
Yeah, so just a moment.
How do you feel about the auction on board 8?
Okay, so
never
let
mind,
me
we switched
go
scenes.
over the play just a second. Okay, so
I think it was the diamond lead.
a diamond lead,
Hard up.
same heart,
Diamond back.
diamond back over, same heart.
And I think the club was switched over here, if I remember.
Yeah, switching to clubs is good.
Ducks.
Just duck ones. Sure, why not?
It's in 1-0, so you know. Oh, okay, and just played passively, and defense made
Yeah,
some
Declare
errors.
just has to rest it. Declare just has 2 clubs and will concede a spade at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that play is going to be stinging, like Michael pointed out, about if West had ducked a second spade, this was just down after East had found a brilliant lead.
Yeah, that's a really good play to memorize, because often we'll lead. You know, this is a variation of it, because usually the lead comes from the other side. But like, let's say we were on lead with king 5th, and we lead low to the ace, and then partner plays the 10 back. We need to remember that we have to duck it in order to facilitate that entry. And that's where it comes up most often. This was a variation. Recognizing patterns is important. And here, Alec found a great lead. It was the only lead I think that would beat it. I think any other lead, well, maybe a club
lead would also work, because you could get 2 spades and 3 clubs also.
Yeah, a club lead would have also done it, but. But yes, they had to just be careful, which was not so easy.
Ooh, looks like it's spearheaded to blitz territory. At the other table, I know it looked like they were settling in 3-0 Trump. I know Nord overcalled preempted 2 hard. Oh no, that's not a fun contract to play. No.
Wait.
How did they get to 4?
Whoa,
4
what
spaces?
happened? What happened? Okay,
North preempted 2 hearts, East bid 2 spades, and then North South shut out. So 2 spades, I think 3 clubs by West, 3 diamonds by East, 3-0 by 3-0, and then 3-0 was doubled, and you do not want to be bidding 4 spades after that double. This double is often a penalty of spades.
Yeah, I mean, they were in trouble. 3-0 was in trouble.
3-0 wasn't in the most. I mean, like, it's
That's
not
3-0.
making, but it's not the worst.
5, 6, 7. Although untangling your tricks is, I guess they're not going to lead a diamond. If they led a diamond, you would have really a headache. But no, they're going to lead a heart, and you have like not tricks, a heart.
Or maybe
Well,
North
Sorry.
might have let a spade.
Let me review just a moment. Okay, so heart led. Just another. Okay, so that's where we're at.
And
Yeah, this is just an unfriendly layout for sure.
I'm gonna switch
It
to the
is.
double table. Here we go.
how do you feel about South passing two spades? Because most people would play that a double of two spades is penalty after partners preempted. So would anyone be tempted to make noise with the South hand or just stay quiet and see what happens?
It's an interesting question.
I think you have not enough outside of the suit,
Yeah.
and you have two hearts. It doesn't feel like good things could be happening. I think I would pass and
Yeah,
see if they got higher,
Yeah.
which turns out to work here.
Yep. And how is four spades gonna play? Actually, I'm not even sure. Cause that's a good duck. Because South is balanced, like Kevin Rosenberg pointed out in chat. So there might be some opportunities to do stuff.
Neither West opened the bidding. That is surprising. Yeah. Wait.
Oh yeah, I
Wait, was
I missed
that-
that also?
Let's see.
Oh well, sorry. West wasn't on. West wasn't.
West was
opening.
dealer.
Yeah. Wait.
Wait, West was dealer. They could have opened the club if they wanted to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh dang. Okay.
But I
that's
assume
surprising.
probably a rule of 12 and all that. I don't know.
So let's see, he's still going to lose 3 more spade tricks, but I think that's the end of the damage. So that's down 3.
Yeah, down 3. So that's me 500, and that could be some well-needed aims for WashU based on how the other table goes. They're off to the same
When you're
start.
finished, please get scores in. to
I
be
think
as quickly as
crossing
possible,
over to dummy
and,
to play a...
Close up your bidding boxes and get the boards in order. We'll be going through
Here's
and
Cyrus
picking
in the
up
Yeah,
background.
it's Cyrus.
on
Do you know
tables
Cyrus?
as people finish.
I know Cyrus a little.
Cyrus is great.
invited-
I love Cyrus.
Invited me. Yeah, so I think crossing over in a diamond to play a spade, just to see if North had any, might have paid off. Because it's not like you care if spades eventually gets... You could even be careful about it. You could cash the ace of clubs and cross over in a diamond and cash the king of clubs at the pitch.
And then
your
play
losing
diamond back.
and then play a spade to see what was going on.
And maybe if spades are 4GU, lessen the damage a bit.
Right, because here you can cover the 9. But maybe they had an interesting card too. I mean, maybe they had the jack and you wanted to cover it.
Brennan's in the tank at the other table. Same
Amazing.
start. Will Brennan find the double of 3 no trump? And if so, where do you go from there?
Doesn't
Nope.
find it.
They played 3 no trump. I mean, it's still gonna go down, I think.
Yeah, this is one where, misfitting hands just turned out not to be so good for you.
Indeed. It also helps that
One of
North
those
is the
weird
queen of
hands
clubs,
where
so
misfits don't play
They do
that
have
well.
an entry. Have you talked to Matt about opening leads from sequences, Robert?
What did he lead?
The 9 of hearts, fourth best from ace jack 10 9
Really?
6.
I don't know what the thought process is. I have no idea.
Well,
Yes, that's
fourth
another
best
good
is
one to-
probably.
Honestly,
that's
I think
the second time we've seen that.
I think his thought process, and yesterday he made some really weird carding on just like a count situation. I asked him later, and he said he was just trying to show count randomly because like they don't have count agreements. So
That's good.
I think this is probably a similar spot of he just thinks the 9 will trick declare more than it tricks partner because they don't have firm agreements about it. That's what I would guess is his reasoning.
Yeah.
West could be tricky and try to duck here, but I think at that point you're just conceding and making the contract. I mean, like, oh yeah, West did duck the opening lead, so the transportation is snipped a bit, but I don't really think there's any way to make it because you only have one entry back to the West hand with the ace of diamonds, so you can't even unblock the ace of clubs and then try to set up the clubs and hope that South is queen third.
Yeah. So here, South could have, well, there was nothing good for South to do other than continue hearts, I suppose.
What does North do over here? I assume they might overtake it, and you don't really want to do ace and another, I think. Because that sets up a hard trick for West, which maybe which maybe could be the 9th trick for them on another day.
Yeah, this is one where like playing a diamond might do something interesting, and it might like help make the communications more awkward back and forth. So, I mean, we can see that double dummy, but even single dummy, you might sort of figure that maybe they have stiff honor and clubs and spades. Maybe the diamonds is how they're getting back and forth. And playing a diamond can sometimes muck up that communication. And here it does.
It does,
Because
yeah.
if they win the ace, now they can't unblock the... They chose to leave South on lead. North said, I don't want to figure out this problem, so they let South deal with it.
Yes.
Is there a way you can engineer an end play on North over here? Like you maybe play 5 diamonds, and then the King of Clubs in another club, and then some layouts, and try to figure out if you can end play them in hearts, based on what they pitch on the diamonds.
Yeah.
And what would that get you to? You'd get to 7, 8. You'd actually get to 9 tricks on. Well, the problem is you don't have the transportation to cash the 5 diamonds and then play King of Clubs, so it is a
If you
bit.
play 5 diamonds, you're in dummy, and South can claim at some point. Yeah, I think they're just cashing out, which seems right. I mean, they could play King of Clubs in another club and see what happens.
But in North to 6, it's a diamond, and then nothing interesting happens, I think.
Right. Well, let's see. No, it's not enough tricks. Yeah, if North thinks it's a diamond, nothing matters.
Yep. So they're just going to play another club, and
Worth a shot.
sure.
Sometimes something good happens.
Oh, they've pitched a lot of spades, so defense could actually just take 6 tricks right now. Oh, this is going to be really important for...
And now, South has a signal. Please play a spade.
I mean, a spade looks pretty natural, right?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that South...
It's hard. Well, a diamond also could work. I mean, like, anything works now at this point.
Throws the
Oh, it's
7, which is encouraging.
Anything but another heart.
Yep, anything but another heart. That's the important key to this hand. And I think Matt can probably work it out. Because it can never really gain, I think. It can never gain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's go. Okay.
There we go.
So defense is going to take
Alright.
4 more tricks. So
It's nice
still
to see
going to be imps away, but
Good stuff to Brennan throwing the helpful 7 of spades.
Yeah, make it easier for partner. The difference between setting a contract 3 and setting it 4 is not enough to risk
No.
partner doing the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
this is down 4. 200 versus 500.
Hopefully the score updates. Let's see.
Yeah, sometimes the last board does something weird.
I'm actually just
Yep,
gonna
7.
pull up.
30 imps. What is 30 imps? Is that a blitz or is that...
It is a blitz. I have been told, and for suspense, I was holding it back, that Georgia Tech Gold did win their match by enough that no margin of victory by UGA would catch up. So the standings for the
All right.
event are actually, wait, could 4th have? Actually, I'm not going to say the standings, but 1 and 2 is Georgia Gold, Georgia Tech
UGA.
Gold, and 2 is UGA Red for this event.
All right. The state of Georgia is,
Yeah.
or the British champions.
Michael, thank you so much for commentating. Sriram, a Discord, just general Twitch, Bridge Twitch kind of legend. Thank you for commentating. We really appreciate it. I mean, come on,
I
like,
don't know if that's a compliment, but
yeah,
I
maybe
appreciate it.
I'm just like putting shame on your name right now. And Michael, like, we really you had a great, just fantastic commentary the whole time. Really
Oh,
insightful.
my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys, and it was a great event. Keep up the great work doing this kind of stuff, and let me know if I can ever help.
We love to do
Absolutely.
that.